Hey everybody, so here I am with another informational. I got a lot of questions on this one, and so hopefully this will be helpful. This is basically everybody wants to know, what are you going to do? How do I get out of Baxter State Park? How do I get home from Maine? So I'm going to give you a little bit info on that, hopefully make it happy. First of all, congratulations. That's huge. What I would tell you is don't even worry till you get there, because it's a long way off. By then, you're going to be really good at handling things. You'll have a network of friends. You'll be able to, catch a ride just about anywhere with just about anybody, just about any one of your newfound through hiking buddies. So here we go. Baxter State Park, I guess we'll start there. Baxter State Park is another one of those parks, like the White Mountains, like the Smokies, that have a lot of rules. And the reason is back in 1931, the former Governor Baxter donated that park to the state, and it's under the condition that it will forever stay wild. So Baxter's State Park doesn't have any sort of construction in there. They don't have any electricity. They don't have running water. They're trying to keep it that way. I guess it's probably at the gates they probably do or something. But I'm surprised they even plow the roads. In fact, a lot of the park isn't even plowed. It's open to snowmobiling and stuff like that. Most of the park is reserved for scientific studies and for traffic. It's like the fifth car today. Logging models, how to the forest and everything. It's open to hunting and trapping and snowmobiling in certain areas in the north, but it's pretty regulated everywhere else. 85,000 people used the park last year. Less than 1.5% of those people were through hikers. So the place is definitely not geared toward through hikers. They do not make many concessions for us. In fact, we're more of an inconvenience than anything. If you ever heard of Baxter State Park before you started doing your research, it's because somebody went out there and did something wrong, and a through hiker drank a bottle of booze up there, or like Scott Jurek had a bunch of people go up there and they didn't have a group pass, blah, blah, blah. 1.5 or less percent of us are, 1.5% of their visitors are through hikers, yet we're under a magnifying glass. It's a pain in the butt for them. They're not making money on us. We walk into the park for free, and if we continue to put a spotlight on us, we may not even have that. So keep that in mind when you get to the top of the mountain. Wait till you get out of the park to pop your champagne. Don't be sparking up a doobie up there. People complain, and that's what gives us a bad name. There's not many of us, so we all have to keep that in mind. All right, so here's your lodging information. We're going to start outside the park. You're coming through the 100-mile woods. You finally get to A-Ball Bridge. As you know, A-Ball Bridge is the last spot before you actually get into the park. A-Ball Bridge has a campsite right there. That's technically outside the park, and there is one campsite in the park that's reserved only for through hikers. It holds up to 16, might be 18, I think the number's 16, and it's on a first come first served basis. So when you come out of the woods, the 100-mile woods, you take a right on the road over toward A-Ball Bridge. You cross the bridge. There's a sign-in area there. If you want to stay in that campground, you have to sign in. That's about 9.5, 10 miles from the campground itself. It's Katahdin Stream Campground is a public campground that you can reserve in your family and all that. It's got a bunch of lean-tos in there. That's a great spot if your family's going to meet you, if they can figure out what day. I'm trying to talk fast because there's a lot of information. If they can figure out, and you can figure out exactly what day, and they can get reservations, that's a great place for them to meet you. If they can't get a reservation and they have to use a day pass, maybe stay in Millinocket or one of the other campgrounds, that Katahdin Stream Campground is also a great place to park on a day use pass. They have a pretty decent sized parking lot there, and it's right on the trail. The trail goes right through the parking lot. Now, the Birches is the name of the campground that's reserved just for through hikers. Now, that's a $10 fee per person. I told you it's up to 16 people on a first come first serve. You do sign the login over by A-Ball Bridge. That's a great place to stay too, if you're lucky enough to be one of the first 16 people. So here's what people are asking. What if that's full? How do you know when it's full, and what do you do? So you'll know when you get to the bridge, when you go to sign in to reserve your spot there, you'll know if it's full or not. So at that point, you have to make a decision. From that point, I said to Birches is 9 miles, but the next day when you go to climb Mount Katahdin, that's another 5.5 miles up, 5.5 miles down. So it's really quite a push. I mean, I know Loner, you did a 26-mile day on the last hike, but I wouldn't recommend it. Even though Mount Katahdin is one of the hardest ascents on your trip, it is also the easiest in the fact that you're finishing your through hike. You're sailing. You're in great spirits. You're probably with friends from home. It's just the pinnacle of the trip. But if you go and stretch out all that in one day, you know, the 10 miles plus the 5 miles up and the 5 miles back, that is going to be a long day. So keep that in mind. Now, there are a lot of lodging options in this area. This is a snowmobile area. This is a camping area. This is outdoor recreation. This is a really it's a touristy area outside the park, the Millinocket town. So there are a lot of lodging options in that area. However, one of the most popular lodging option is Appalachian Trail Lodge. Now they have all sorts of services. In fact, they have shuttles, they have lodging, they have private rooms, they have like family, I think one family room, they have bunks. They'll shuttle you anywhere, I think from Monson up or down to Bangor Airport, or maybe Portland. So that's very popular. I was checking them out today. They have a lot of great reviews. So that's the Appalachian Trail Lodge. And if you're stuck in between, can't figure out what you're doing, call them. They're experts at this. This is what they do. They wait for us hikers to go up there, and they help us. They have gear. They have resupply. And the big thing is a shuttle. Now, if you don't know, Millinocket's like 20 miles out of the park. In the park, from the front gate to Katahdin Stream is over 10 miles too. So you're looking at some traveling. It's not really, you don't just walk out of the park. So that's a couple things. Got my notes. There are a few things you're going to want to know when it comes to actually staying in the park. Okay. No pets. If you got a dog, you bring a dog with you on your through hike. Don't bring your dog in the Baxter. Make arrangements to kennel that dog up. That'll save you some headaches. You can't tent in there. Like I said, it's only camping by reservations and authorized campsites and lean-tos. And if your family's going to meet you to hike, let's say they're going to meet you at Katahdin Stream, like I said earlier, make sure they get to that gate before 7. I would be there by 6:15 because specifically on the day that I came, I camped with Red Hot at A-Ball Bridge Campground, which is outside the park. When we went in at 7:05 to go climb the mountain, they had already had a ton of people show up, and they said, that's enough. No more people climbing the mountain today. It's maxed out. And we were freaking out. And finally, we talked to one of the rangers who made an exception, and thankfully, we got to climb that day. But they were pretty stringent, and they were not going to let us in. The boss man had to come and give us a break. And even though he probably wasn't a hero of the day, he was a hero to us. Groups over 12, make sure that you get a reservation. So you have to, a group pass. Otherwise, you'll get a ticket. You got to bring your trash out. There's no trash cans there. You can't use the soap in the water, streams, water sources, and absolutely no alcohol. It's a very strict rule of theirs, so keep that in mind too. Violators are going to be tossed out and fined. So this is how I did it. Just like everything on my trip, it's what I did. It worked for me, and hopefully, you'll maybe get an idea of what you do. So Red Hot and I knew we were gonna stay in 100 Mile Wilderness. There's a lean-to 3 miles from the A-Ball Bridge. So we stayed in that area, hiked out of the woods, went to A-Ball Bridge Campground, had a cup of coffee at the store, and we finished hiking to Katahdin Stream Campground, which is an additional 10 miles. At that point, Red's wife picked us up and brought us back to A-Ball Bridge Campground, and we spent the night there. Now the next morning we go to get back on the trail at that Katahdin streams, and the people at the gate say, can't go in. So I told you the story on that. So finally they let us in. We drive all the way to the Katahdin streams where that Birch's campground is, and then we signed the book, or the thing on the, they got a pad on the wall that you sign. We hiked up. That was crazy. September 12th. It was so many people up there. You look at my summit video, you won't believe your eyes. It made, it was very crowded. So that's how we did it. We came back down, and Red Hot's wife picked us up. And then, because, you just spent the whole day, this is a big deal. You just accomplished your big journey. We actually stayed in a resort house, and we literally just sat on the edge of the lake and looked at the mountain. In fact, I wasn't done. 3 in the morning, I went outside, sat on the dock, and just listened to the loons. So that's an option too. They have a lot of resort places where you can rent the whole house if the whole family group is coming. So like I said, it's a real popular area for snowmobiling and snowshoeing and camping and hiking and all that stuff. So there's a lot of options, so don't freak out. Also, if you don't have a plan to do that, you have to think about what's happening in your world. You're ending your thru hike, so many other thru hikers and their family's going to be there. Everybody's in a great mood. Everybody's excited. And there's going to be many people willing to take you from the Katahdin Stream area back to the gate or all the way to Millinocket. Millinocket is very hiker friendly too. In fact, I think on the 18th this year of September, I think they had a trail days there. So you will not have a problem in most cases getting out of the park and getting to Millinocket. That's where you have, like I told you, 5 hotels, 4 bed and breakfasts, many resort areas, campgrounds on the access road from Millinocket to Baxter. So your lodging is not going to be a problem. What you do at that point is if you live anywhere close, New England area, the town you want to know is Medway. Medway is the closest town to Millinocket with a bus system or public transportation. So that's 45 minutes from Millinocket. You get to Medway, use a shuttle, probably something from the Appalachian Lodge or some other shuttle that's in the area, or you could also do the taxi thing, or just, I don't know. You got to get to Medway. Medway is going to get you to all points south. You can get to Bangor, to the airport, get to Portland. You can go all the way to Boston, and from there, whichever way you're going. So remember that. You're going to go from Baxter to Millinocket, maybe spend the night, whatever, on gas, just relax for a little while. The town you want to get to if you're looking for a bus is Medway. The town you want to get to if you're looking for a plane is Bangor or Portland. So that's the information on that. It's really not a big deal. Bangor straight down 95. You're probably going to get a ride all the way to Bangor by the first person that picks you up to bring you, to the highway or to Medway or whatever. So and once you get to Bangor, that's a huge city for Maine. Tons of Marriotts and everything from the Divey Motel all the way up to the nicest motels. All right, let's see, where am I? I suggest you stay an extra night, just to savor the moment. But once you get out of Millinocket, once you leave the Millinocket area, the Appalachian Trail, all those familiar faces, they're gone. Okay, you're not going to go down the highway 20 miles and see somebody taking a zero. Once you go up north 20 miles, you're not going to see one of your acquaintances taking a zero. Once you're out of Millinocket, your trail might as well be a million miles away. So savor it. If there's people in Millinocket hanging out, enjoy the day with them, enjoy the night with them, and because once they're gone, unless you reach out, you're only going to see them on Facebook. All right. And I think that's about it. So don't stress. Get there. Either sign in, find a place to stay at the A-Ball Bridge, or back out of the park at one of the parks on the access, one of the campgrounds on the access road. If your family's coming, tell them to reserve a place at the Katahdin Stream campground. A lot of lean-tos there. They're very, very nice and clean. Plus, you can all kind of sit, all the thru hikers in the area, even from Birch. The Birch's campground is literally part of the Katahdin Stream. You guys can all hang out, have campfires, whatever. The next day is an easy day, easiest day on the trip. And then you might want to chill out, spend another day, enjoy it, and then head to Medway. From there, you can catch a bus anywhere in the world. So that's my tip. I tried to rush because I know people don't like long videos. If I miss something, remember, I'm not a professional. All right, so Sam I am. Thanking you for watching. If you have some friends that you know are planning this trip, go ahead and share this with them. And thanks for watching. We're out.